Hi, hello, how are you? And welcome back to another video. This is a speed build, and it is an exciting speed build because when you're watching this, Seasons is officially out everywhere, and this is one of the main builds that you will see in my Seasons Let's Play that will be going up the day after this video. So if you're watching this video in the future and you haven't seen my Seasons Let's Play, then that's your next YouTube destination, just so you know. I did build this like a couple hours before Seasons came out, so there's no Season stuff in this build, unfortunately. There is a glass roof in it though, because I did have that. But so this build may change a little bit as I actually play with it now that I have the Seasons content. So like the beds might change and like little things like that. And of course, the Sims will use various things, like maybe they'll use kiddie pools or anything. But anyway, so my new Let's Play is about a girl named Chantel, and I'm not going to tell you too much about her right now, but I will tell you about the house. And this house is actually Chantel's grandmother's house, and her name is Heidi, and that's why this build is called HEIDI'S HIDEAWAY. And this is a pretty big build, but I imagine it's like it takes up a lot of lot space, but there aren't that many bedrooms, and like in general, it's not a huge house. It just takes up a lot of space on the lot. And so, as much of a contradiction as that is. But anyway, this is the house that has been the place where Heidi raised her daughter and where she and her husband Vance like built their lives. So that's why this house is kind of bigger and much more established than anything Chantel would probably have if she lived on her own. Although who knows, maybe Chantel will move out as the Let's Play progresses. We don't know yet. So because of that, because this is specifically designed for the Let's Play, and because it is specifically designed with specific characters in mind, it does have a lot of personality. And so if you download this build for yourself, you might want to switch up some things just in various places of the house, just depending on who you're going to have living in here. My favorite part of this house is, I mean, I love the whole aesthetic in general and the whole design. Architecturally, this house is based off of a picture I saw of a Floridian style house from the early 1900s that had been renovated in the present. And I was like, yes, this is perfect for Heidi's house. I actually wish it was a brighter yellow. The house that I referenced actually was a bright yellow. And you'll also notice there's a lot of yellow in this build because yellow is Heidi's favorite color. Heidi is a beekeeper and a gardener and a florist, and so she really loves the color yellow. It's bright and it reminds her of the sun, and so I tried to incorporate that a lot in the house without it being too overwhelming. But unfortunately, there aren't very many colors or swatches in the various like sidings and paints for the outsides of buildings. So I couldn't do a really bright yellow. I just have this like it's like a eggy yellow, an egg washed yellow. That's the color of this house. But I imagine ideally Heidi's house would be very bright yellow. And maybe it was very bright in the past and it's just faded over time. I don't know. Something else about this house is that it was the home of Heidi and Vance, as well as Chantel and her two parents. So there are kind of two families in this house. So you'll notice there are two living rooms. There's one that's more formal, and then there's one that's more of a family living room. And there are a lot of like little homey touches, and you can tell that Heidi's kind of written all over this house. I imagine that Heidi is she's the thrifting queen. So there are like little random knickknacks in this house, and it's like anywhere else you'd be like, why is that there? And it's, oh, Heidi found it somewhere or something. And so it's very much Heidi's house. There's the carport on the side of the house, and then it leads to what, if this was a house in real life, would be a garage area, but we don't need garages in The Sims, so I wasn't going to build a useless room. That kind of little building in the backyard right there is actually Heidi's kind of gardening area, relaxation space. If she was like in her 30s at this point, she'd call it her she shed probably. But it's where she goes to hang out, where she keeps all her gardening supplies, and it's just right outside the pool area and her gardening area in the backyard. If you downloaded it for one of your Sims, you could use it for the same thing. You could use it as a small guest house. You could use it as a pool house. You could use it as a spa. It could be used as so many things because it's kind of, it's, I don't know if it's, I guess it's big enough to be a tiny house or a mini house or a one bedroom studio kind of setup. But it is definitely big enough to be a large room, a living room. You could throw a large laundry room or a mud room out there. You could set it up like a garage if that's your deal. This house does have a laundry room because with this Let's Play, I'm just going to pile it all on. We're going to use everything we've got except Chantel and the character she's interacting with will not become vampires. But there is a tiny little laundry room upstairs, and I'm glad because I haven't really played with laundry in a little bit. So, got to do some laundry. This kitchen is one of my absolute favorite things in this house because I had the idea. I saw a picture of a window seat, and the window seat had this huge open window, but it wasn't so much a window as it was like it wasn't glass, it was just open. And so it had shutters that you could close it up and then it was just open. And so I tried to mimic that in The Sims. I was going to put windows in, but there weren't windows that were shaped like I wanted. And the closest thing were those big windows from Cats and Dogs, but then they have like too many panes in them and I wanted something just solid. So it was just like boom. And so I used the half walls to create the same effect. And so it's open, but then I put a glass roof on the little seating slash outdoor dining area that's out there just to make it a little more inside. It's The Sims, so it doesn't really matter if they can't actually close up that space, but I didn't want to completely expose the elements, just in case. And the two living rooms, at first when I put them in, I was like, it's kind of weird to have two living rooms in the same space. But I've actually seen it done before where there are two seating areas in a really large living room, and they kind of serve two similar purposes, but have a little bit of a different style. And they do have two different styles. The more formal living room with a fireplace is very Heidi, and then the less formal side with the TV is very much Chantel's mother and father and their family. There's touches of Heidi in there too, but it's just a much more casual space. As boho kind of and as hip as Heidi tries to be, she still isn't quite as eclectic as her daughter. And there's my window seat. I love that window seat so much. I don't think any Sims could actually sit on it because I wanted it to be cushioned, so I messed around with move objects to get that effect. But it's still really cute, so I don't even mind if it's functional. There's plenty of seating in this house, including the outdoor area. But since this house is so big, you could, or not, it's not, like I said, it's not that big, but since there's so many spaces that function similarly to other spaces, like you could add a room in this living room area. So if you don't want two living rooms, you don't need two living rooms, you could add a study space, or you could add a kids play area, or I don't know, whatever you're feeling. I tried to make it, I don't know, like I said before, this house has a lot of personality. And so I was trying to think of ways to fit in the personalities of the people that would be living in this house. Like on this side, the coffee table is off center and really close to the couch. And on the other side, everything's neat and orderly and kind of like very purposely placed. I also tried to drag in lots of artwork, and you'll notice sunflowers come up quite a lot. When I decorated Heidi's bedroom upstairs, there's sunflowers everywhere. There's sunflower paintings on the walls. There's sunflowers on her bedspread. There's sunflowers on her dresser. She's a sunflower fanatic. And so there aren't any in the yard now, but there will be once I actually start playing with this family. Although I won't be playing as Heidi a ton. It's funny because the main character of the Let's Play is Chantel, but Heidi is my everything, and I haven't done anything with her. Another thing that I didn't include in this build that will be in the Let's Play, but I didn't include it for anyone that might want to download it, is family pictures. I have gone in with the households and taken family pictures for the Let's Play that are actually going to be on the walls in the Let's Play, but I didn't think anyone would want pictures of Heidi and Chantel and Vance and Chantel's parents on the walls of the house that their Sims would be living in, so I decided to leave them out of the build. I mean, unless you want other people's Sims, I don't know. Sometimes I have downloaded houses with pictures of other people's Sims in them, and I usually just delete them because my Sims don't know those Sims. Why would they have their pictures? I tried to clutter this house up a decent bit. It's funny. I think the lot value actually comes up to like 193,000 and change, which normally for a Let's Play I wouldn't do that. But like I said before, I imagine Heidi, this is kind of like this is her house that she and her husband have had for a lifetime, and so they've had time to make it what they want and fill it with all the things they like and desire, and so I didn't feel too bad about it. Plus a lot of it is just clutter, and a lot of it I probably could have toned down on. I think the first floor when I finished it was 43,000. So if I did half as much in this build, it would be a relatively okay price, like a second home pricing. But I mean, I'm sure you're not going to start Sims in this unless you're cheating them in with money. Yeah. This is the little laundry room. I tried not to put too much effort into the laundry room because it is a laundry room and it's this tiny little room. And I've made bigger laundry rooms in the past that were the size of small bedrooms. And I was like, let's just go for a small space. Let's just tuck it off somewhere and not make a big deal out of it, because it's easy to make a big deal out of a laundry room in The Sims because there's so much cool stuff in that pack. So I did my best. I also threw in that yellow curtain there. When I look at it from the outside of the house and I can see that yellow curtain, I'm not quite sure about it, so I might change it. But from the inside, I love it. I also really like the layout of the upstairs because the way I set it up is there's 2 bathrooms up there, and then there's 3 bedrooms, and the biggest bedroom on the left is Heidi and Vance's bedroom. The bedroom on the smaller bedroom that's rectangular is Chantel's bedroom, and the other more oddly shaped bedroom is Chantel's parents' bedroom. And not to spoil too much about the Let's Play, but Chantel has a special understanding, I will say for now, of the seasons. And so her bedroom's like this right now, and it's pretty neutral. But as the Let's Play goes on, her bedroom will probably change quite a lot as the seasons change. And so, yeah, it's going to be something. Her parents' bedroom is pretty, I don't know, it's pretty sparse. I don't imagine them hanging out in it. They're not. Chantel is a young adult. She's not a teenager. But I mean, in The Sims, the difference between a young adult and a teenager is that a young adult doesn't have to go to high school. So that was the main reason. I did think about in the Let's Play making Chantel a teenager, but I was like, then she has to go to school, and that's not going to be fun. So there's that. What else is there to say about this build? I had a lot of fun building this, although I still have to build. There's another really important house in the Let's Play, and I still have to build it. And I spent 3 hours on this house. And my plan was today build the 2 houses, get the save for the Let's Play set up, get all the families together, get the pictures taken, like all that good stuff. And then seasons would come out at midnight. I would stay up, I would download it, and I'm here for that. But now I'm so tired and that once I finish recording this voiceover, I'm just gonna like pass out somewhere, and I'm gonna have to just wait and record the beginning of Chantel's journey tomorrow because it's a lot. I will also, of course, be doing some seasons build soon, but I really want to get this build out before the Let's Play because it's kind of like it's literally the home base of Chantel's story. So you kind of need to see it, And so she grew up here. I'm trying not to give too much away because there's like this whole thing. Chantel grew up here with her parents and her grandparents. Her grandparents are on her mother's side. So their daughter's name is, I believe, Misty. And so it's Heidi and Vance's daughter, Misty, and her husband, whose name is not coming to me right now. Oh my gosh. And their daughter is Chantel. And they all live in this house together. They're just a big, happy family. They're very close. And they're all very similar people. Not like they're the same people, but they all have very similar interests. They're all very carefree. I don't think anyone likes to garden as much as Heidi does, if at all. Heidi's also a beekeeper, like I mentioned before. It's funny. Heidi's taken on such a life. And the only reason I'm talking about her so much in this is because I don't want to spoil too much of the Let's Play, because I really want to like go over the full story in the first episode. And also because this is Heidi's Hideaway, so we have to talk about her. You won't see her in any of the screenshots or anything, but Heidi is the cutest little old lady. She is, I don't know, she's just kind of a standard looking old lady, but she dresses and like she's trying to be like a little hip. She's very she has a young spirit. And I mean, she's that like get up and go old lady that's, I mean, she's a beekeeper. She's like up at like 5:30, like I got to go take care of my bees and water my plants before it gets too hot, that kind of thing. She's definitely a master gardener. The garage type building at the end of the carport is kind of empty right now, and that's because it'll get added to as the Let's Play progresses probably, and I didn't want to put too much effort into it, but like I said, you could see there that it's really big. But anyway, the screenshots are about to roll through, so I'm gonna let you go. Make sure to check out my new Let's Play that's coming up. It's gonna be called, as far as I know right now, Seasons of Chantel. But anyway, I'm gonna let you go. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to know what you think, and I'll see you in the next episode of not this. This is a speed build. Oh my gosh. Bye!